This last presentation for macroeconomic targets focuses on what we call economic stability. This is the overall target that we are trying to achieve in our economy. So to very quickly draw on the board our economic cycle. So we have time on the horizontal axis and we have GDP on the vertical axis. We have our upward sloping line, which is a trend rate or our average rate of economic growth. Our economic cycle shows the fluctuations in the short run in our economic growth changes. As we said before, we have a trough and we have a peak. What I want to explain now is the economic cycle in reference to our economic targets. When we're in a peak, I want you to visualize that our economy is represented by a bathtub. And also going to draw next to it our production possibility boundary. When we're operating at a peak, the bath is full of water. It's very difficult for the economy to grow any more than what it is. The economy is also operating on its production possibility boundary line, or very close to it. It's very difficult for us to grow any more than that. Now, this will mean that at a peak, yes, we have high growth. We will also have very low unemployment. There will be very few people who can't find work. But the problem we've got is that this will create high inflation. Businesses will find it difficult to recruit new members of staff. There just are no people looking for work. Accessing other resources will become very expensive because they won't be available in big abundances. So we will get high inflation because of high scarcity in the economy. This high inflation is likely to lead towards a trough. High inflation is bad for the economy for reasons we've mentioned before, which might potentially lead us to a trough. Now, when we're in a trough, if I was to draw our bathtub again, this time our bathtub has got a very low level of water in it. If I drew a PPB, the economy is operating well away from the production possibility boundary. So this time inflation is very unlikely to happen. The problem we have this time, as we can see by the low water level, we have got low growth in the economy. It's likely because we've got low growth and we've got low water level, low output, we'll have high unemployment. There'll be lots of people looking for work that can't find work. What this should mean though, because we have no scarcity, there should be low inflation, but there's a potential for us to get deflation, so price levels might actually be falling. Now, clearly, both a peak and a trough create problems. So economic stability is a target that we're trying to achieve, and what it will mean is, if we can achieve that, this green economic cycle will start to fluctuate nearer to the blue line. It becomes much easier to plan for the future. It will mean we won't have peaks or troughs anymore. They will be a lot smaller than what they were previously. So if we have stability, what this should mean is that peaks and troughs become a thing of the past. We have low, stable economic growth. We will maintain low, stable unemployment. And we will also have low, stable inflation. Okay, so that is what we're aiming for. Now, what we can see as well is that we have some contradictions between policies. Economic growth will lead to lower unemployment, fantastic, but it will also potentially to high inflation. So we've got a conflict with policies there. On the other hand, if we try to bring down inflation, clearly that will lead to rising unemployment and a fall in economic growth.